I'm your host of Chamber TV, and we're here with an interesting guest today. So my name is Dan White, and we're doing Chamber TV, and there will be regular productions very shortly. There's starting slow, building momentum, and make sure you stay tuned on our website, on Facebook, and YouTube to see what's going on. Interesting people, interesting things, interesting places, and just interesting. And as I said, I'm Dan White, and you are?
Michelle Levings.
Michelle.
Hi.
So who are you? What do you do?
Okay, I'm with the Digby Area Housing Coalition, and I was their community engagement coordinator for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm hired as their consultant working on a special project.
Oh, cool. And tell me about this special
The
project.
special project is for a shelter in Digby.
Okay.
So it's basically the A to Z of what it would take to get a shelter in Digby, what type, where it would go, who would be partners, how it would be funded, and the need for it in Digby.
Okay. So I'm gathering there is a need, or you wouldn't be doing it.
There definitely is a need.
So who needs it?
Oh, well, we have actually a large amount of precariously housed people and homeless people in Digby, but
Mhm.
because of the rural setting, it's actually quite hidden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you say it's quite hitting, is that like people with yurts and trailers in the woods and?
It can be. It certainly can be. There are people who live in tents, off-grid areas where they wouldn't be seen much different than Halifax, where it's like little tent city, right? A little tent town. So in Digby, it can be in such rural areas you'd never see them,
Mm-hmm.
or it can be from people living in the living room of their family or friends, couch surfing and things like that.
Well,
So they're considered precariously housed.
Got it. So you've heard about the municipal bylaws commotion going on?
I did, yes, I did.
Yeah.
So I've been tracking that actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the municipal meeting the other night. There's quite a few people turned up. There's a lot of emotions going about that.
There is. I'm hoping that with this decision that they made about these temporary shelters, as they're calling them, that it actually helps them realize the need for a shelter. So both the town and the municipality, so they can both become partners in this project to make this work.
That's really interesting. I can really see where that would help where you're going. I don't know that it helps with the ones who are homesteading.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
It is going to hurt a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, and I guess I'm wondering what problem are they solving?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
But anyway, coming back to the Housing Coalition, so describe it to me.
The Housing Coalition in general?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The project that you're building.
Oh, the project specifically.
So first of all, where is it?
Well, that's the thing. So I have worked, the purpose of the project is to gather the info like a research project.
Yeah.
So possible locations, who will finance, who can finance, what local organizations and agencies would partner and work in collaboration with a shelter.
Right.
And so it's much research. However, I did take it a step further, and I do have a proposal that I'll be putting forth, but I just can't speak to those details yet.
All right. So I thought it was going to go where this Fiesta Motel was.
So the Siesta Motel is a different project.
Oh.
So
okay.
the Siesta, the previous Siesta is actually going to be, instead of renovated like it once originally was going to be, it's going to be torn down / hauled away if needed, and 33 units is the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, those will be affordable living units though.
So that's different than the
Shelter project.
The shelter
yes,
project.
That's right.
And so how many units in the shelter project?
In the shelter, it's hard to say, but in order to get government funding, you need a minimum amount of beds. So we'd be looking at like 15 beds.
15 beds minimum. Okay, interesting. Now, would these people need transit?
Yes, most certainly.
Does the current transit system support that?
It depends.
Okay.
So that is part of the project for sure.
Yeah.
We are lucky to have the King's Transit system in the area, and upon my visits to other shelters in Nova Scotia, I have sat down and met with people, and they do work outside of the shelter during day shifts, night shifts, and so they do rely on transportation.
So it would be important that the King Transit serves the need of this.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because you can't just sort of drop them and leave them isolated.
Exactly. The location matters 100%.
Yeah. we were in meetings with King's Transit. We're wanting to make sure they change their routes.
Oh, okay.
So that they take into consideration somebody getting on the bus, going shopping, catching the bus when it comes back on the other route, so that they have time to shop between going around.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Tideview Terrace, they're down this long road, no bus service.
Exactly.
But I'm told that the town is going to put a little mini shuttle bus to handle that.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting because in my meetings and conversations with Nancy, the chair, we talk about microtransit being really important in the town as well.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's going to run these projects? If you've got staff picked out, or is that?
So they're first talking about the Montague project, so the former Siesta. Right now, it's a small board, but mighty board, and we work together with a nonprofit consultant firm called New Commons Development, and they're the ones that are helping us with the proposal to the government because these things are quite tedious. So you need engineer reports, you need architectural drawings, you need a lot of things, a lot of spreadsheets, and a lot of evaluations. So we are still working with them in order to get the funding to be able to start the project.
So the first question comes to my mind is the numbers. So how many seats did you say? 13 units? What was it?
No, so the Montague project would be 33 units.
33 units. So that, and 1 unit per person sort of thing?
It depends. So there'll be the majority bachelor, okay, and then there'll be a few 1 bedrooms.
Right.
So it depends on your situation. You may have maybe a couple, or it may be a single parent and a child.
Cool. That sounds really an important thing to be involved in. I'm wondering what the number needs are. Like how many would it be if we waved our magic wand? How many units should we have?
Many, many more.
So this is just
so this is the project to start.
Yeah.
It's the coalition's first actual project.
Yeah.
And it's really important that this one be successful.
Yeah.
We originally were looking at something more along the lines of like a transitional housing type situation, and also back when we thought we were able to just retrofit the building.
Right.
So then, things change, and so 33 units is still going to cost a lot financially to build and to make it happen. And so I think it's a really good number to get those in need something safe and something reasonable for them to afford.
Yeah.
What we could do, my personal opinion, is that we could probably have a building of 100 units and fill it tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm not just talking necessarily about, direct Digby residents, but the people that are even looking at coming here, they would need something affordable as well.
So how far away would the reach be that people would come to the coalition?
That I'm not certain, but in our meetings and our research and different projects that I kind of coordinated with, we did like Weymouth to Bear River are most the results that we've down. So including Digby Neck and the islands are the people that we've mostly spoke with. Okay,
well that's interesting. So what are the biggest challenges you have with this coalition? Objective buildings and stuff.
In terms of the building, so government funding for sure is a huge challenge for us. Yeah. The fact that luckily we had this nonprofit consultant firm to be able to assist us with it, because the government is done building buildings for affordability, and right now they're relying on nonprofits. And so nonprofits are non-paid people that wish to volunteer to help society. And we are very small, and we have our regular lives. We volunteer in other organizations, and we have full-time work in some cases. Yeah. So that's a huge challenge.
I guess so, yeah. Nova Scotia is very much built on volunteerism.
It absolutely is, yes.
It's hard to not take on too many volunteer positions. It's hard.
It's true.
So how did this whole thing get started? What was the spark that ignited this?
It is a branch off of the previous group called DASH. That was before I came along, of course. Right. And right now, the board is spearheaded by the chairperson, Nancy Robinson, who devotes all of her spare time in her retirement to finding a solution for the homeless and for affordable housing.
I'm sure she's getting a huge salary for doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that we wish, but yeah, it's unfortunately no.
Yeah, no, I realize that.
Yeah.
I'm just tongue in cheek here.
Yeah.
But no, that sounds like it was really a great thing that she did.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, did it start off with just a fiesta and it's growing
So
from there?
yeah, so right now the first project was the purchase of the siesta in 2022, I think, and then we ran it as a motel for a few short months,
Mm-hmm.
and then closed it down as we thought we were going to be able to start the retrofit sooner
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And we certainly, as a coalition, are looking at other projects as well, other pieces of land, other funding to continue.
Mm.
But it is very important that the siesta project continues.
There's a building on, I think it's in Barton. Is it
Yes.
the old school?
Yes.
Has that been looked at?
Yes, actually, that is, forgive me because I'm not fabulous with the names on it, but that is actually going to be renovated and done as a co-op.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've actually spoken with the people that are spearheading that project.
Okay, and it'll be low-income housing as well?
Yeah, as a co-op, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it'll be co-op
Yep.
geared towards lower income.
Yep, and it's taken them a long time, much like us.
Yeah.
However, in the grand scheme of things, there are organizations that start like us, and 10 years later, they still don't have their first building.
Right. So 10 years from now, where do you see this coalition being?
Oh my goodness. In 10 years from now, if government funding became a little bit more available,
Mm-hmm.
If our board grew a little larger,
Mm-hmm.
then I would see several different projects on the go. Not only the Montague project, as we call it, up and running, but
Mhm.
also having other pieces of land with buildings on it. And what those look like for the future is all in what the actual need is.
Mhm.
The Siesta Montague project limits us in the piece of land that we have and cost and things. But then we also reached out to the community when they were applying for a unit there and asked them, what do you need? And there are a lot of families
Mhm.
that need appropriate, affordable housing,
Mhm.
safe housing.
Yeah.
And as you know, the list for the housing authority is quite long. So
Mhm.
in order to get that, people are living in unsafe and not great conditions.
Yeah. So you indicated that you were looking for more directors or volunteers?
Yeah,
or?
volunteers even. So
to-
it may be something that someone is interested in a specific task, but they don't want to be a part of a board or come to monthly meetings. It's too much. So we are looking for volunteers, and we are looking for more board members.
Right. So how do you go about finding these board members and volunteers?
Our board in itself reaches out to our peers and colleagues to find. We also have participated in the volunteer fair last year, and we're going to be doing it again this year on April 13th, I believe it is.
Okay. And what would you say to the people who are thinking about volunteering? What do they get out of it?
Helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's helping and helping us. It's
Yeah.
a huge need that no one else is doing right now.
Right. And aside from the good feeling of doing something good, and I understand that and I relate to it, I do it.
Yes.
It's that radio station, what's in it for me sort of thing.
Well, honestly, I only do things to help others as well, but you do get a good feeling for helping people.
Good feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you mind if I pitch
Sure.
that it's a good idea to volunteer?
Sure.
So I'll give you my little story.
Okay.
I came from away.
Oh yes, come from a ways. Yes.
Some people say I was a blow-in. Actually, that's kind of a cool
Yeah.
term. But anyway, so during that period of time, REN, Western Regional Enterprise Network,
Yes.
asked if I would be a director there and if I would be on financial oversight. And I agreed to do that. And also agreed to start the West Nova Chamber of Commerce. So what has that done for me? Well, yes, it's given me good feelings. However, I've met so many really cool
Mhm.
people, so many great connections, and I'm helping people that I know with business, capitalizing on what I know, which helps Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm number one, I'm wanting to do good things and get good feelings. But I'm one of these people that's also say at the end of the day, there's got to be something in it for me. And if you're not driven by money, which I'm not, then I want to know that I've broadened myself, I've made more friends, more acquaintances. So what I'm saying is, anybody that's listening to this, if you're whining that you've got nothing to do, there's lots to do around here, either for fun or volunteering. You grow personally, you grow spiritually, you expand your network, and opportunities come your way. But if you're hiding in your house complaining there's nothing to do, that's right.
True.
It is what you believe it to be for you.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, anybody wants to get in touch and be involved, who do they call? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, we do have a new Facebook page that we'll be launching probably next week. It is live. We're just fine-tuning some things, and it's digbyhousing.ca.
digbyhousing.ca.
Yeah.
And then
on there is all of our contact info for myself and Nancy. Yes, that's right.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Just, I think that it's important that people are very made aware of what's going on in the province and in the nation right now in terms of housing, and just to keep an open mind, and that everyone is just a few steps away from being in that person's position.
Isn't that the truth? That's true. Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming
Thanks
out.
so
It's been
much.
really interesting.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.